So I've had a few people ask me recently for advice on what else could they be doing to get a response back from companies to which they've applied. They've applied online, they've gone through all the hoops to make sure that they're turning in the required information and doing it on a timely basis to make sure that they're being considered. And then also, they're going the extra step in sending a note to the recruiter or the hiring manager who posted the position, only to get either an automated email saying, "Thank you, we got your application," or no acknowledgement whatsoever of their note to them. And it's really frustrating. And they're wondering if there's anything else that they can be doing to move their applications forward in this hiring process. And the answer to this is yes. I mean, this is such a great question because I feel like a lot of people are experiencing this, especially now in this market. And while there isn't one formula for success as to how to do this, there are a couple of things that I've noticed with clients that I've worked with who have been successful in landing positions. So I notice that they're doing one of two things. Well, actually, I should say they're doing both of these things. One, they're having help from someone in the process. So there's a human connection to a person who's involved in the hiring process. And then also, they have to think outside of the box. They are a bit more creative, willing to try something new than what's worked for them previously. And a lot of this is trying to identify new people that could help them or people that they hadn't really considered before as a person who could be instrumental in moving their application forward in the hiring process. So, an example of this that I'll give is that I've worked with a client. She actually does all the things that a lot of you do. You apply online, do it timely, and then she follows up. The difference is that she doesn't follow up with the person who posted the job, or at least not right away. She doesn't necessarily target those people as so many people who advise on career search and job search do. What my client does is that she actually goes a bit higher than that in level of the position of the person she'd like to meet. So, for example, if she is working, in a marketing capacity, for example, she would target much higher than, say, like the hiring manager. She would probably go to the top of that department, like the chief marketing officer or SVP, senior vice president for the group, and outreach to that person. And let me tell you, that outreach is not average. She brings her A game. She makes sure her elevator pitch and how she's presenting herself to these high level people is really in a great manner. And it's succinct, it's also impressive, and she takes a chance and does the outreach to that individual. And while it's not always successful, and certainly she gets no's or people who ignore her or tell her, "Oh, you need to apply directly this way," she has seen a lot of success in getting response. And what ends up happening is that, she's done such a good job of presenting herself in her elevator pitch at that level, that higher level executive or person she introduced herself to is impressed and follows up with their internal talent acquisition team to say, "Hey, can you contact this person?" And as a result, the team works on it right away, right? And in many cases and environments, people need to be informed on what the status is, even though, like my client may not know or have a really deep bond with some of these higher level officials in an organization. From years of working together, they were impressed with her background. So they want to see, if it's a good fit. So she'll give it to the team they'll give it to the team that can vet that out and make sure that things happen. And what ends up happening is that there's a higher sense of urgency to act on her application. So I would say, this is a strategy that worked for her. She didn't necessarily stick to just what everybody else is doing. She got creative and figured out a way that would work with her so that she could gain more contact with people that she felt could be helpful in her job search and moving her application forward. And I can say that, I would say she has a higher percentage than your average person in getting interviews. So that I thought was a great example of the creativity and that connection to another person to help advocate for you or move it forward, at least in the process. I would love to know what has worked for you. Do you find that you're hitting this wall of like lack of communication? What have you found to work in overcoming that? Feel free to message me. You can send me a note or you can comment below. That's great.